Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to my studio. In this video, I want to show you some tips and tricks for getting started making one of the projects from my brand new book, 24 Crochet Hats, Interesting Techniques and Inclusive Sizing for Men, Women, Children, and Babies. Let's get started. This is the Kylar cable hat. This is a highly textured hat that looks great on anyone. It is a top-down construction that starts with a post-stitch starburst crown and beautifully transitions into a gorgeous cable design. The brim can be made in the same color as the hat or in a contrasting color for a pop of extra fun. This beautiful hat pattern is sized for babies, kids, women, and men. You will need number 4 worsted weight yarn. This hat is shown in Be So Cozy yarn, which is my number 4 worsted weight merino wool and bamboo blended yarn in colors orchid and aqua. And you'll also need a size J10 6mm crochet hook or size needed to obtain gauge. Okay, so today I want to show you how we make this really beautiful cable down the center of the hat. And I've done a reduced size sample here, and even though this isn't how you start the hat starts from the top center crown and works down. But the trickiest part of this pattern is getting started on the first cable, and it's going to make sense when I start showing you. So the round 1 repeat of the cable pattern for the hat walls, it starts with 1 double crochet, yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we work 2 front post double crochets, yarn over your hook, insert your hook from front to back to front around the post of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I said we were doing 2 of those, so I'll do a second one. Then double crochet in the next double crochet. And now our cable is worked over 6 stitches. It starts with a front post treble crochet in the 5th stitch from your hook. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, skipping 4 stitches and then working front post treble crochet around the post of the next stitch, yarn over twice, insert your hook from front to back to front around the post of that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, and through 2. And we'll do that again in the next stitch. Okay, so now we still have to work those 4 stitches that we skipped, and we're going to do them in a different sequence. So we skipped 4 stitches. We're going to continue skipping the first 2, and we're going to double crochet in the 3rd and 4th of the skip stitches, but do work them behind these 2 post stitches that we just made. So first I like to find them. So we see we skipped 1, 2, 3, 4. That 3rd one is the first one we're going to work into. It's yarn over your hook, working behind the post stitches, insert your hook in the top of that 3rd skip stitch and complete your double crochet. Then we'll do that again in the next stitch, which would be the 4th skipped stitch. And it's okay if you have to turn your work, manipulate your work back and forth to figure out where you're working. Now we still have those first 2 stitches that we skipped. We're going to work front post treble crochet around the posts of both of those now, starting with the first one and then working into the second one. So of those 6 stitches, the sequence we worked them in was 5, 6, 3, 4, 1, 2. None of these stitches are super complicated. It's just about getting that sequence correct and being able to work in front of and behind your work. Okay, so this is the end of that round. I showed you the last repeat of that first round of the cable stitch pattern for the hat walls. And now I want to show you how we work the next row. And this is where it's a little bit tricky, but once I show you what to do, I think you'll be fine. And looking back on the hat, when you do the cables after the first one, the structure of the fabric ends up helping you to be able to see your stitches better. It's only on this first row after the first cable, the first round after the first cable round, that is a little confusing about where to find your stitches. So the repeat for round 2, first repeat starts with a chain 3 that counts as your first double crochet, then it's front post double crochet around the posts of the next 2 post stitches, and then double crochet in the next double crochet. And what that is, it's double, 2 front post doubles and then a double. That's what gives you this nice column here. See how we have a vertical column of post stitches that alternates with the cable? That's what that section is here. Okay, so in the next section of round 2 of the cable pattern for the hat walls, we need to work a front post double crochet around all 6 stitches from the cable from the previous round. And it looks a little confusing, right? This is where we worked in the strange order. We worked treble crochet, front post treble crochet around stitches 5 and 6, then double crochet in stitches 3 and 4, and then front post double crochet in or front post treble crochet in stitches 1 and 2. And so that's these, see, so we did them in the different order, and that's what gives us that beautiful texture. So now we need to work a front post double crochet around all 6 of them. And it's a little wonky for seeing your stitches, so you just want to pull on them a little bit so you can see them. So notice you can see those first 2 treble front post treble crochet stitches will work around the posts of those 2. And then little tricky still is finding those 2 double crochets that were worked in between the stitches in the 5 and 6 position and the stitches in the 1 and 2 position. So we've got those 2 double crochets in there. You need to just pull on your work a little bit to pop them out a little bit, and then we'll work a front post double crochet around the posts of each of them. And just doing this actually helps that cable stand out a little more, and you'll see that when we finish this. And then we'll work front post double crochet around the next 2 front post treble crochet stitches. And look at, there we have it. Now we have our cable looking a lot more like a cable, because once we found those stitches in their right positions and worked front post double crochets around them, it helped that cable pop up and give it the structure it needs to lie flat as well. So there's the one that we haven't worked into yet, and here's the one we have worked into. Big difference, right? And then as you work in the pattern, you'll see that they end up really popping so well. And partly it's because of the yarn. This is a worsted weight merino wool and bamboo blended yarn. Anytime you have an animal fiber in your yarn, it really does give you that crisp stitch definition for cables. Really lovely. But I just wanted to alleviate some of your fears that if your cable doesn't look right after the first section of it, keep going, because it will start straightening itself out as you work the subsequent rounds in the pattern. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please leave them for me in the comments. And everything we talked about today is linked in the video description below. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you in the next video.